Listen, you don't have to wait until you're older to make an impact in your society. You can do it right now by registering yourself and your peers. And when the time comes, you can vote for the change that you want to see.
Hello, my name is Zach, and today I'm going to take you through the process of voter registration and pre-registration. To complete this process, you will need the last 4 digits of your social security number and a current Georgia state identification card or driver's license. You will also need to be at least 17 and a half years old and a U.S. citizen. If you're in an in-person classroom, please raise your hand if you intend on completing this process with us. If you're in a virtual classroom, please drop a yes in the chat box if you intend on completing this process with us. If you can't complete this process with us for whatever reason, please say no in the chat box. No need to specify why. Your teacher or organizer is now going to pause the video until they receive a response from everyone in the class. Alright, so if you'll be completing this process with us, please put your email address and zip code down on the form. If you're in person, look up when you're finished, and if you're on an online platform, please drop a done in the chat box so we know when to move on. You should all be finished and should have pressed next step. You will arrive at a page that says register yourself to vote at the top. So go ahead and put down your name, indicate that you're a U.S. citizen if you are, and put down your home address. Indicate that you do have a current Georgia state identification card or driver's license, and put down your date of birth. You can put down your phone number if you want, but it's optional. Also, if you would like, you can choose to receive text messages or emails from Rock the Vote or When We All Vote by checking these boxes here. If you're under 18, you'll be taken to a screen reminding you that though you are not yet voting age, you can register if you're 17 and a half or older. If you're eligible to register, press Keep Going to continue. If you're returned to the previous screen, just press Next Step one more time to move forward. Once again, I'm going to ask that you look up when you're finished if you're in an in-person classroom, or drop a done in the chat box if you're online. Alright, so once you click Continue to the next step, you should see a big blue banner telling you that you can be redirected to the Georgia registration website. Click the red button right below that banner and it should redirect you. If you're able to successfully make it to the Secretary of State form, look up if you're in person or put done in the chat box if you're online. Awesome, so now we're on the Secretary of State form. If you are not already registered, please click I want to register to vote to continue. If you want to check whether you're registered, click Am I registered to vote? Next, you'll be taken to a page asking whether you want to register using a valid Georgia ID or driver's license or by printing and mailing the application. If you have a Georgia ID or license, click the first option. The next step is reconfirming your eligibility. So once again, confirm that you're a U.S. citizen, confirm that you're at least 17 and a half years old, affirm that you're from the county that you plan to vote in, affirm that you are not serving a sentence for a crime involving moral turpitude, and affirm that you have not been found mentally incompetent by a judge. Once again, if you're in person, please look up when you have finished confirming these criteria, or if you're online, drop a done in the chat box. Okay, on to step 2. First, indicate whether this is a new registration or whether you are looking to change your voter registration. Next, select your county of residence, then enter your name, date of birth, and Georgia ID number. Once again, if you're in an in-person classroom, look up when you're finished, and if you're online, drop a done in the chat box. Alright, so if you press continue, you should see a consent form checkbox asking to use your digital signature. Click consent to continue. After you click next, you will be taken to a screen asking for your address. Go ahead and put in your zip code, your street number, your street name, your city, your county, and the rest of the information required. If your mailing address is different than your residence address, please put that down as well. please press Next and then look up when you're done if you're in an in-person classroom, or drop a Done in the chat box if you're online. The next step is to fill in a bit more general information. Go ahead and put down the last 4 digits of your social security number, your email address, your phone number, your gender, and your race or ethnicity. You will be asked whether or not you would like the Georgia Elections Office to contact you about serving as a poll worker. I really recommend that you check that box and look into that position. We'll have a bit more info on that shortly. Once again, look up when you're done if you're in an in-person classroom, or drop a Done in the chat box if you're online. Okay, lastly, here is all of your personal identification information one more time. Please go through it and make sure that everything's correct. Next, reaffirm that you are a U.S. citizen, that you're at least 17 and a half, and click the oath in order to submit your application. That concludes this tutorial. Thank you so much for your time and happy voting. For more information about how to vote by mail, please visit our election center at www.whenweallvote.org/vrh/. It's really important to make a voting plan as early as possible, and this tool should help you out. If you're interested in becoming a poll worker, please visit weall.vote/pollworker. It's a paid position, and we have a shortage of election workers in Georgia, so I'd really encourage each of you to consider it. Thank you all again for getting registered. Voting is our voice, and the more young people that get registered, the more we'll be able to take ownership of our future.